Hello again, everybody. It is September the 1st, 2020, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you about an RC-related Guinness Book of World Record attempt. Yeah, that's right.
That sounds right. And we have a special guest that I'm sure you'll recognize.
And we're going to tell you about September's Club of the Month. All that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Welcome back, everybody, to AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I'm Claire Aldenheisen.
Claire, I hope you're having a wonderful week.
I am actually. I realized that the first day of fall really is like September 21st, 22nd. But to me, September 1st is the beginning of fall. I am done with summer.
Right?
Yeah.
I think all the restaurants are selling their pumpkin spice lattes, and we're starting to see some leaves start to fall down. So
just kidding. I don't have a pumpkin spice latte yet today.
We didn't plan that out either. That's pretty amazing. But I agree with you. It feels like fall. Even today here in Muncie, it's a little fall.
It's a little cooler. I saw a leaf fall, so you know what? I'm ready.
It counts. I think that counts. And fall happens to be my favorite time of the year. I've always argued that if I could move somewhere where it was fall all year round, perfect place to live.
Can I come with you?
Well, let's. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We've got. We're going to tell you about Club of the Month a little bit later on. We've got some updates on some things that are happening. We've got a special guest coming up in just a few minutes.
All kinds of cool stuff.
But first, we're going to tell you a little bit about the Guinness Book of World Records. Claire, I'm sure you were familiar with the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh yes, absolutely. I actually made an attempt to break a world record as a kid.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I do. Tell me more.
Well, I got it into my head. I don't know where I even got the idea, but I wanted to make the world's longest paperclip chain.
Okay. All right.
I was like 7 or 8, and I was just determined to do this.
Do you remember how many paper clips it would have taken to do such record?
I have no idea. I honestly, I completely forgot about it until today, until we started talking about this. And I just remember there being a very long chain around my room, like almost like a decoration. Yeah. But then you look closer, you're like, those are paper clips.
Well, I remember, as a kid, I never tried any world record attempts, but I always remembered the book fair coming to town, and I always had to have the latest Guinness Book of World Records.
The book fair was the best day of the school year, and that happened in fall. Further proof that fall is the best season.
Maybe we can get the book fair to come to the National Fall Fun Fly.
Oh my gosh. Joe Vermillion.
Oh, well played.
Oh,
well played,
gosh.
Sir. Well, hey, I brought up the Guinness Book of World Records for a very important reason. So we've actually had 4 AMA members working on this project, and they've just learned that an RC flight that they made back in October of 2019 has set a new world record for the highest altitude remote-controlled model aircraft flight.
Look at that.
There we've got some video on the screen. AMA members Paul Kopp, Jake Minker, Eric Gordon, and Nick Ross learned in August that their flight was ratified by the Guinness Book of World Records. Back on October 13th, 2019, they used a balloon to help an RV jet flying wing reach an altitude of, listen to this, 34,800 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Breaking the previous record of 29,527 feet. Now, I do want to point out this was approved through the FAA. So this is all on the up and up, which is good. The flight took place at Spaceport America around near Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. which is just an amazing facility.
Look at that. It looks so cool.
God, what an amazing accomplishment this was. This is incredible.
That is amazing. Do you think it's always fall there?
No, it's the desert. No, it's very hot there.
Dang it.
Wow.
This is fantastic.
Again, 34,800 feet. We've got some quotes here. When he's when I found out that the record was officially accepted by Guinness, I was astounded. Eric stated. That is Eric Gordon. After so much work we put into this, it was amazing to hear it paid off, and we officially had the record in our hands. They were notified back on August the 14th, just a few weeks ago. If you guys want to learn more and read more about this and see some of the photos and videos, we've got an article up on our blog. It's amablog.modelaircraft.org. You can head right over there. As soon as this show's over, you can read all about it. It's just an amazing accomplishment by some really talented young kids. So congratulations to all those guys.
Cool. Congrats, you guys. I love that. Well, coming up, we have a special guest on the episode, and I have a feeling you're probably going to recognize him. It's Tony Stillman, who is now the AMA Safety Director. You guys probably recognize him as our Flying Site Assistance Coordinator. And based on the comments I see on our Facebook page, I have a feeling you reach out to Tony a lot, but he has a new role now at AMA, and it's a little bit different from what he was doing before. You want to elaborate on that?
Hey there, Matt and Claire. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having me. Yeah, the safety program that AMA's had for years, Alona Main has really pushed that. She's done a great job for AMA. With some of the reorganization that we've done here at headquarters, Alona is going to focus a little bit more on clubs, which obviously safety is involved in clubs, but she's really involved in clubs and doing some things there to make a better impact on clubs. And so that's a good thing. And they asked me to take over the role of safety. So I've been flying models, really radio control models, since 1971. So I've been doing it a little while. That is real white hair. I didn't have to dye it white. It really is white. So
it's actually in fashion to dye your hair white now.
Okay.
So
well, there you go. I'm finally in fashion. It took me this long. But yeah, so my role there is just to try to continue some of the great work that Alona has done. And I think there's not so much new stuff that's going on out there. Yeah, we have FAA issues and other things that's going on, and we're all aware of that. But I think it's more about, for me, it's going to be more about having a conversation with our members in our clubs and talking about safety. The clubs have been doing this for a long time. They know how to teach safety at the field. They know how to, and bring in new people and have them become part of the family and operate safely. So want to hear back from members and what they're doing at their club field, or maybe they're not a member of a club and they fly with just some buddies at a site somewhere, and what they do. So I think that's the main thing that I want to try to do, is bring up a conversation, keep everybody up to date on what is changing, and make sure our documents and everything reflect all those changes and some of the great input that we'll get from our members.
That's awesome. So, Tony, a lot of us have been talking a lot about upcoming FAA certain situations. And the FAA testing is something that you've been working on a lot. So, can you tell us, do you have good news for us?
Well, yeah, I think so. And I've done a little bit of work, but I would have to really hand that over to our government relations team. They've done the bulk of the heavy lifting, and Tyler and his team, Crystal, have done a great job. So, yeah, we've been involved in this from the get-go. And when Section 349 came to be passed by Congress, there are 8 components of that you must follow in order to fly radio control aircraft in the United States. And in our world today, model aircraft is a regulated activity in the United States. So one of those items is passing a safety knowledge test. And that originated, as you can kind of guess, by when government starts something like that, it's a big, huge deal. It's going to be complex, 200 questions and $150, and you got to go to an FAA testing station and all this sort of stuff. Eric Williams, our district VP for District 2, was on that team, and he helped to beat back a lot of this stuff. And I think what we've ended up with, as best we're able to understand at this point, because it hasn't been released, is going to be like a 20-question, and I'll say quiz. I'll use the term quiz, much like what Claire has helped us develop for our CD and event manager testing, which is more of just a review of what hopefully you knew, but maybe some new things that you hadn't thought about. And if you answer the question incorrectly, it'll tell you, oh, that might not be the right answer. Let's look here, and they'll give you clues as to here's where you find the information. Let's see if you can come up with a more accurate answer. So that's the way this is going to go. It probably is around 20 questions. It's going to be multiple choice. And you're going to be able to get the right answer very easily. It shouldn't take, I think our average members, in my opinion, are going to do it in 10 minutes or less. And it's going to be simple questions. If you miss it, it's going to say, hey, you missed it. Go here and look real quick and find the answer. And at the end of the day, you'll have made a 100% score on the test. So I think in the long run, it's one of those things that I think AMA has really pushed hard to turn a situation that was pretty ugly and probability that 99% of our members were not going to participate into something that's still not 100% probably will participate, but it'll be a little easier pill to swallow, and hopefully something we can get one and done, because as we understand, if you're an AMA member, you only have to take this once. As long as you stay an AMA member, you're good. So hopefully that's where it's going to go. We'll know a little more as things come out, but I'm hoping to ease some concerns and people that might even be losing sleep overnight over this. It's not something to worry that much about.
Now, Tony, I know obviously, there's still a lot to come out. Nothing's been set in stone in any of this kind of thing. Do we have any idea on when we may have official word on what this ends up finally looking like? And
I think
Matt just cut out.
Yes, he did.
All right. So the question was, do we have a timeline on this, Tony?
Well, I think we have a general idea. We're thinking somewhere, in the fall, which might be today, Claire, but the fall through, sometime over the next year. And things are moving slowly. I think the government's dealing with the COVID issue there too. I suspect it'll come out maybe before the end of the year. It could be the first part of next year or something like that. But as far as I could tell, most of that work is done, the testing part itself. But they can get hung up with who's going to provide the tests, what testing facilities will do this. We even have hopes that a club president might be able to do it at a club meeting and just do it orally with the group.
That would be fantastic. Much less painful and scary than a 2-hour-long test.
So some of this is still yet, I think, to be worked out, but hopefully what comes out of this will be something simple. Hopefully maybe AMA will be able to host it. It'll be a simple little test that we can put together. So Claire, that might be something you get to work on. But we'll see where it goes. But I think the bottom line for us is to say that, it looks like we were able to make it a simplified process, and it'll be pretty easy for AMA members to do.
That's awesome. So, Tony, how can people get a hold of you now? I actually learned this just the other day, that you have a new email address. And, this might sound weird to our members and our viewers that I wouldn't know that, but I could literally walk down the hall and talk to you, or pick up the phone and talk to you. So how can people get a hold of you? How can people find out more about what you're doing and how you can help them?
My old email address was connected to my flying site assistance coordinator position. So when that got moved over to the clubs department, Lisa Johnson is now the flying site assistance coordinator for AMA. And so she receives the emails that go to that email address. So I'm reverting back to our individual emails we have here at AMA. So mine is Tony S at modelaircraft.org. So if you're reaching out to me for anything, questions, or, whether it's about the testing or anything like that, I'd be happy to talk to you. You can also reach out to us at the AMA number here at 765-287-1256, and I'm at extension 230, and I'd be happy to speak with anybody about safety program, anything that we're doing, or if you have some suggestions, I'd be glad to hear those and pass those along. And like I said, hopefully we're going to have some new communications processes that's going to come out, where we'll be reaching out to you, hopefully AMA Air on and off in different times, our blogs. I do write a column quarterly in a magazine, so there may be some other opportunities. And so we'll be reaching out to clubs and members, and hopefully you can help us to spread the word about flying safe in the airspace.
I'd be happy to spread the word personally.
That's right. I think you can do that.
So Tony, what? Oh my gosh, Matt's back.
Hey.
Sorry, a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I think I'm back up and running.
All right. Well, we were just wrapping up with Tony and really just figuring out, what his new. Oh my goodness, Mason. So Mason Hutchison is a Tony Stillman super
All
fan.
right, Mason, you the man. Mason and I have done a couple of shows, and he did a great job representing AMA at the National Park and Recreation Association conventions. So we appreciate Mason.
I think I'm a Mason super fan.
Yeah, I think so. I know I am.
Awesome. Well, Tony, thank you so much for taking the time today to join us here on AMA Air and telling people a little bit more about your new role. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. I don't know if I've ever said that, but congratulations on your new role. And I am really looking forward to how you can help all of us out and fly safely. So
I'm going to do my best. If I can help any, let me know. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Always a pleasure hearing from Tony. And again, sorry, guys, I kind of got kicked off there for a second, but I think we're back up and running and good to go.
I thought that was me for a second. I was like, oh no, my computer messed up.
Well, hopefully we won't have that issue again, so we do apologize. Let's move on to our next story here. So we talked a little bit about this in some recent episodes. It's about the Skybunny Postal contest. If you guys aren't familiar, we've got a website that we're going to pull up on the screen here in just a second. It's modelaviation.com/sky-bunny-contest. And it's a contest that's been put on in remembrance of Bill Warner. This is a contest. It's for rubber-powered free flight Skybunny models, and it must be built to the plans with no major modifications. And the contest starts this weekend. It starts September the 5th. That's this weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend, that's right. So all of the details, all of the rules, everything you need to know is on that webpage that's down at the bottom of your screen, modelaviation.com/sky-bunny-contest. All the ways you can win. There are 3 different age categories: juniors, which is less than 15 years of age; seniors, who are 15 to 19 years of age; and the open class, which is 19 and above. So again, all of those rules and how to enter, they're all right there on that page. So go check that out. Hopefully you've been building your Sky Bunnies in preparation for this weekend, because it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's happening.
It's happening. That's absolutely right.
And if you haven't heard of a postal contest before, it's actually not a new thing. It's been very common throughout the history of model aviation, where it's classically socially distant, because you compete on your own, and then you submit your scores to a centralized judge, and then that is how the winner is determined. So I love that we're kind of I don't like that we're being forced to do this, but it's a throwback.
It's
into
perfect it's perfect for this environment. It really is.
Exactly. And you know how I am with historical stuff. I love anything like that.
Absolutely. Well, that brings us to our favorite part of the show.
Yay!
It's time for iflyama. We need some sort of theme song. Dylan, can we work on that at some point in time? That'd be super.
I would love that.
Thanks, Dylan. I'm going to kick us off here with a story that, it's something that I don't feel like we see enough of this. And, we get inspired by all these great stories about, their first successful maiden flight, first successful solo flight, all those sorts of cool things. And they're incredibly inspiring. But what we don't usually see are videos and stories about people who, well, maybe they crashed. Maybe they put went up for a maiden flight and it didn't go as well as they had hoped. But they were able to kind of pick up the pieces and go back and they're going to try it again. And that's what's important, because it goes without saying, it's not about if we crash, it's when we crash. I can attest to that.
That could be a t-shirt in the gift shop.
It should be. I'm surprised it's not.
I think it should be. Wendy.
So I want to tell you about this story. It was posted by Jorge Camacho back on August the 20th. He says he's 2 months into the game. He's only been flying for 2 months. And he says,
do you think this is his first? His first crash? 2 months?
I don't know.
I crashed the first time I flew.
He says, I made in my first RC Skytrainer until after I got comfortable to take my first loop and ... I think we all know what that means. Unfortunately, he didn't come out of the loop. He said, manufacturer responded very well and sent me a replacement plane. He still has to maiden it. He says more to come on that. I just think it's incredibly commendable to see somebody who takes what really could be something that would make you want to just give up and say, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm not going to do this anymore. It can be very very disappointing experience, but he's turned it into a positive. He's going to go back. He's going to try it again. And I really, really commend him for that. He had really good control of the airplane there. It looks really good. And he just got a little too comfortable, it sounds like, on that maiden flight. And
I think a lot of kids, newcomers to the hobby, could really benefit from seeing this because it happens.
Absolutely.
Everyone does crash at some point. Actually, John Zoldak left a comment that said all models have an expiration date, and that's so true.
Absolutely.
And to see other people fail, it's not schadenfreude. It's feeling that commiseration and realizing that you're not alone. And you're going to get better if you just keep trying. Don't let that one crash totally wreck it for you. And
that's why it's so good to see posts like this from guys like this who, it tells the newcomer, the other newcomers, whether you are an experienced pilot or you've only been in the hobby for a couple of months, doesn't matter. When you post stuff like this, you show other new pilots, hey, you're not alone. We all crash every once in a while, and we pick up the pieces and we go back to work and we put it back together and get back in the air.
Trying.
That's what this hobby is about. So I love seeing posts like that because it really illustrates that point. So thank you, Mr. Camacho, for posting that awesome video. And Claire, I can't wait to see what you got in store.
My video is actually a polar opposite to yours. It is a beautiful first time landing, and it is just a fantastic video. I really love it, but the thing about it is the story behind it. This was shared to iflyama, of course, by Jerry Warden, and it is featuring youth member Caden Wallen. He's flying a Midwest Aerostar, and what's really special about this flight and the landing is that Caden's grandfather, Denny Wallen, he actually was a longtime club member of the club that Caden's a part of and a flight instructor. Unfortunately, he has left us for bluer skies, but I think he'd be really, really proud of his grandson's flight and landing. So I'm really excited to see this video. It's not showing up for me. Is it not showing up for anyone else?
No, it doesn't look like it's loading up, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, it's such a good video. It was so delightful. It has a fantastic ending. So even though the video is not working, this is the best excuse you're ever going to get to join iflyama.
Absolutely.
You can't see it on air, so you got to go join.
We're filled with tons of technical difficulties today. We apologize about that. We'll put that in a link into our comments section here shortly, so you can see that. But yeah, I agree with you. It's so fun to see those types of successes. I love seeing all that kind of stuff. And like Claire said, you can see these every single day. All you got to do is go join the iflyama Facebook group.
Why are
Facebook.com/groups/iflyama. Hit that join button and just answer a couple of quick little questions and you're all set to go. It's a super easy process. So go do that today. But here's the good news. We're not done.
We have one more story for you guys, and I think you'll figure it out because we've been doing it a couple months now. This is the fourth month?
This is the third one, I think.
This is okay. So it's the cover photo contest.
That's right, the iflyama cover photo contest. We have a winner, all selected for this month's cover photo. Hopefully, we'll have it. Drum roll, please. Maybe. There we have it.
There it is.
R. Scott Page with his OV-10 Bronco.
Look at that.
We have to do a little scrolling there, unfortunately. An amazing shot there. I want to thank R. Scott Page for posting that and submitting it for the cover photo contest. You'll be able to see that as our cover photo in iFly AMA throughout the month of September. Very cool. Now, here's the good news for you guys. If your name's not R. Scott Page and your photo wasn't selected, well, the good news is you've got time, because we're going to start another one here in just about 15 days.
That's right.
September 15th, we will open it back up for the October cover photo. So make sure you go get those photos taken. And
you know what? For the October photo contest, I'm just going to tell you right now, I've actually never voted because I felt like I needed to be impartial. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you happen to have, if you have ever built the Flying Witch and you post that,
ooh,
I will 100% vote for you, because that is one of my favorite models. We have one at the museum, and it is just like the most perfect Halloween thing. So go ahead and post your Flying Witches. Okay.
I do believe there is a flyby about that.
There is a flyby, and there is a fun little song in that episode of Flyby.
modelaircraft.org/flyby. Go check those out. Well, very cool. Congratulations to R. Scott Page. And again, facebook.com/groups/iflyama to join today. Well, Claire, let's talk about newsletters for just a quick sec. Can we do that?
Okay, let's talk about newsletters. I am so excited. So if you're not aware of this, there are actually 6 different newsletters that you can subscribe to from us at the Academy of Model Aeronautics. And if you're like me, you seem to have a lot of extra time to read lately. I don't know why, but I feel like I just am always reading something. So you can visit us at modelaircraft.org/newsletters, and you can subscribe not only to AMA Today and the Cloud 9, which, may I remind you, if you're a patron of the National Model Aviation Museum, you can get the Cloud 9 in the mail. And actually, I don't know if it's an email yet. I think it's just a hard copy right now. You can get Rotor Report, Media Minute, and AMA Today. And so you can get all of the information, all the up-to-date info that you could possibly want from these newsletters, and you have something to look forward to in your inbox. I know it doesn't seem as exciting as getting something in snail mail. I personally love getting snail mail, but I actually really look forward to these, even though I know everything that goes into the newsletter.
There's lots of great stuff in these newsletters. It's not always just stuff that we've put into the magazine or
sometimes it's new.
Sometimes it's new. Sometimes it's not even AMA related. So it can be all sorts of things that we thought might pique your interest and grab your attention. So go check those out. modelaircraft.org/newsletter. Very cool.
I know.
I've got something that I want to touch on for just a quick second.
Is it the podcast?
It's not the podcast. Although we did just celebrate our 50th episode.
I seem to remember that.
Yeah, we just published that this past Monday. Hey, if you haven't checked that out, modelaircraft.org/podcast. Oh, I feel like such a shill for my own stuff. But I wanted to let you guys know it is now September the 1st, as we mentioned earlier. And it's time to announce our September Club of the Month, which is something we just started with. This is our second month for it. It's really just a way to shine a light on our amazing clubs that we have out there, the ones that are doing things so incredibly well, who are inviting new members in and showing them how to be great model aviators. And we've got another great example of that for September. I want to introduce to you guys the Casa Grande RC Flyers Club, who are our September Club of the Month. They're based in Casa Grande, Arizona. They're a nonprofit Arizona corporation with the purpose of promoting the hobby of model aircraft flight and improving the skill and knowledge level of the membership. This club was originally chartered back in 2012, was named a Gold Leader Club by the AMA beginning in 2017, and was also named an Award of Excellence Club by the AMA. The club welcomes all AMA members to join, and those new to the hobby can receive free instruction from one of the many AMA certified flight instructors. These guys just do a tremendous job. We see all sorts of amazing stories coming out of this club all the time, and I'm really thrilled that we could celebrate them by naming them the September Club of the Month. You guys can head over to modelaircraft.org/clubs to learn more about them, and you can also head over to their website as well, Casa Grande RC.
Flying site.
It's just gorgeous.
Wow.
That runway looks amazing. I believe that they have just done some improvements to that field too, if I read correctly. And actually, I think the Alan Friedman, their president, is actually in the Facebook chat right now. So, Alan, thank you for joining us today, and congratulations. And we're going to be hearing all sorts of great things about the Casa Grande RC Flyers.
They even have a little dirt track.
They do. Look at that. That's awesome.
Gosh.
You're going to be hearing all sorts of things about this amazing club over the course of September on our social media channels. And we will be having an episode with them on the AMA podcast coming in the coming weeks. So congratulations to all the members of the Casa Grande RC Flyers Club.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. Well, if you want a incredibly beautiful flying site like that, I highly suggest you consider applying for a flying site improvement grant. The registration just opened, I believe today, and you can visit the grant information at modelaircraft.org/site-grant.
That's right.
And do you know what you can do with a flying site grant, Matt?
Well, I hear it's a hashtag.
As a matter of fact,
I believe you
fence.
can fix the fence. Yeah.
You can fix the fence.
Or you could pave the runway. I like pave the runway.
I like fix the fence. Build the building.
Build the building. Oh, it's just it's all downhill from here, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever you want to do to fix up your flying site, definitely look into the flying site improvement grant and see what can be done to help out your flying site, because everybody deserves to fly somewhere beautiful and relaxing. Hashtag fix the fence. I've been validated.
I still feel like this is all one big rib on me, but that's okay.
It's not. You're my favorite co-host.
Well, in any event, we want you to make sure you go check that out, modelaircraft.org/site-grant to get more information on that. And listen, that's all we have for today's episode of AMA Air. I'm sad that it's gone so fast. I'm sorry I missed a little bit of it, but at least I got to come back and hang out some more. Claire, tell them all what they can do.
You can like, share, subscribe, and if you're not already a member of the AMA, why not? You can visit us at modelaircraft.org/join and get all the benefits that our members enjoy, including free admission to the National Model Aviation Museum. But the museum's actually closed right now, so you cannot visit in person, but you can always visit us online.
There you go. Again, modelaircraft.org/join to find out what the AMA can do for you. For everybody here at the AMA, and Claire included, let's see if I'm pointing in the right direction. There it is. There it is. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us on today's episode of AMA Air. We'll see you guys next time.
See you later, Model Fly. I forgot what it was. I messed up again. See you later, Aviator.
After a while, Model Flyers.
There it is.